Everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to teach you guys a strategy for trading gold. Now gold is, and I've made just a couple videos where I talk about gold, so you can go into those strategies, and I think that this one I'm talking about is probably one of the strongest. I'm going to go over the formula, and it's basically using the LNL trend system strategy and focusing on a long-term time frame. So I found just by using this indicator and focusing on longer time frames that the results can get better, especially when you're dealing with it works best for all the volatile assets out there. So for gold, I haven't really looked at it and plugged these indicators in because I haven't really personally looked at gold with this indicator. But I'm going to look at it today, and we're going to see how this works on a longer time frame. If you guys see my other videos, it's pretty similar. But anyway, I'm going to plug this formula in on a longer time frame, and we're going to be looking at gold, and we're going to see if it can lead to some pretty good results. Okay, so for this strategy, what you basically need to do is you need to have basically 3 indicators. The third one is optional, but the first one you need is the LNL trend system. So if you want to go to your settings, you want to go to LNL trend system, you want to select that one. And once you get it, you want to deselect everything except for show trend line and show HTF trend line. Now what I do for my colors, I make them bright. I make neutral white, and I make the bullets a bright green and the red a bright green, a bright red. And then, you do that for both, and then you deselect everything else. And you'll be left with 2 lines, basically. And then the next thing is the linear regression candles. This is optional. This is for those that, if you want to use it with the regular candles, you can. But I like more of a linear, I like looking at more. It kind of gets rid of all the noise, so it makes things easier to see. So I have it that way. And then you have RSI. So basically what we want to do is we want to look at a longer time frame. And what we basically want to focus on is the last time the LNL trend system lines have crossed. So I recommend starting with the day and going down. So if we look at gold right here, the last time that it crossed was right here. So if you had entered at this point, from the point of when the lines cross, today you would have some pretty good profit here. So I want to kind of explain what to do after the lines cross. After the lines cross, if you miss the cross, what's the next step? What do you do? So what you want to focus on basically is you want to go with the direction of the cross. So since it has crossed here, and if you miss this cross right here, the next thing you want to refer to is your RSI. So since we know the direction is up is the only direction that we want to be focusing on. So what you want to wait for is you want to look at your RSI, basically, on the longer time frame. The longer the better. Okay, so you want to look at your RSI. And since we know the direction is up, what you basically want to look for on the day chart, and you're basically going to have to wait this out, but since we know the direction is up, you want to come in all those moments where the RSI crosses up here. So your entry point would have been here, and your entry point would have been here, and your entry point would have been here. So we could check those. If you're doing it on the day, we could check those. So right here would have been an entry point. You would have made some profit. Right here would have been an entry point. Right here would have been an entry point. And right here would have been your entry point when it first crossed. So that's basically what you do. Don't really want to go too much. You do the same thing for the opposite. So if you're on a longer time frame and the LNL trend system is crossing down, the direction you want to focus on is down. So in that scenario, you'd be looking at your RSI for all the moments when it's crossing down. So let's just real quickly look at some previous. Let's just get rid of the linear for a quick second here. So we see that it crossed up here. And it crossed up here. And it crossed up here. So it's been going up for a good time here. So there's a lot of good moments, like right here, here. We can turn the candles back on. So right here, crossed up right here, crossed up right here. So there's a lot of good moments. I want to try and find a downtrend here, so the same way. See that the linear lines crossed down right here. So you in this scenario, you'd be focused on a downtrend. So you come in at the cross here. If you miss this, you have to go into the next time with the RSI. So you get a moment right here. And that's the only other one. And then you see another cross up right here. So the point right here will be doing buy orders. So this one's kind of choppy. If you miss this, it'd be kind of hard to get in these positions here, but they're still there. There's another cross up. And it's still kind of choppy on the RSI to find moments. You can refer to some other indicators if the RSI isn't working for you. You can also do ADN. ADN oscillator works well. So let's just look at this scenario real quick. I don't want to go too much off topic here, but if the RSI is not working for you, you can go to your ADN oscillator. And basically, you can go by the ADN instead of the RSI. See, it crossed here. And if you miss that, then you can wait for, you can go to smaller time frames and you can wait for there to be crosses up. If you can't get that on the day, you can go to the hour. And you can go to the hour and just wait for the green line to cross the white line. And you'll find your entry point there. But basically, I don't want to throw you too off. I want to kind of teach you guys how to do this with just the RSI. But if the relative strength index isn't really working for you, I would do the ADN oscillator next, or go down to a smaller time frame. You see a lot of consolidation right here. See that it crosses down right here. So if you missed this, your next point would have been right here with the RSI. You see that it crossed right here. So you want to be focusing on uptrend. So your next point would have been right here. And then right here. So you guys get the general idea. Doing this on the day, it works best doing it on a longer time frame. You can do this on a smaller time frame if you want, but you will enter into more choppy zones and more sideways moment. So what you do, you go to a longer time frame. I would prefer doing it on the day chart, even though you're gonna have to wait it out longer. You look at it with the LNL trend system, and you look at the last time that it crossed, if it crossed up or if it crossed down, and that's the direction you want to focus on. And then you want to look at your RSI, and then you want to look at your RSI for moments when it's crossing up with the line. And if that's not working for you, then you can go down to a smaller time frame, or you can use the next indicator that I would recommend would be the ADN oscillator. For the ADN oscillator, you want to make sure that the line crosses the signal line, which is the white line. So whatever direction you're going, you want to make sure it's crossing that signal line. So anyway, if you guys like the strategy, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.